All right, guys, welcome to our team training tonight. We've got 25 minutes of absolute value for you. And we've got the gorgeous Jess Fuller online. She's an NMD 50 club and one of my closest friends, and definitely in this business, a very close friend. And I love her dearly. And she has given us her time tonight, right smack bam in the middle of dinner, kids being bathed, going to bed. So I'm forever grateful. And Jess is on tonight just to share with you her journey. You know, we all want to hear from the people that inspire us, and we do always get very similar messages, but you just don't know who you're going to relate to in this business. And I get a lot of value from Jess, and she has helped me a lot on my journey to NMD. Please chuck in the text or the chat section now questions you have. This is your opportunity to ask her. We have 24 minutes left, and we're going to smash out as much as we can. So I'm going to hand you straight over to Jess. So Jess, if you just introduce yourself a bit more, because I'm sure there's more details than what I said, and start sharing your journey and how you got to NMD and what you needed to get through. All right, I'll pin you now. Cool.
Thank you, Kim. Thanks for having me. Super excited. Hi, everybody. Thanks for the intro. Hopefully I'm not freezing too much and I'm not sounding like a robot. So yeah, I'm a mum. I've got two kids. They're 4 and 6 now. And when I started this, they were both under 4. And before Juice Plus came along, I was a personal trainer. And before that, I was in retail management for about a decade. So I was selling my soul. If anyone out there has worked in retail or, you know, that employee setting, it is about, I always thought it was just work hard, for more success. And I spent a lot of time climbing the corporate ladder, and you know what, I wasn't very, those that know me, I'm not very politically correct. And office politics were not my thing, and it didn't serve me very well. So I just didn't really, love that. But I had my kids, I moved into the health and fitness industry, became a trainer, loved that, but realized really quickly that I was still trading my entire life for money. Who knows what that feels like? It's just go to work, come home, do the grind of dinner, bath, bed, which I still haven't done yet tonight. And it was the same thing. And I was just sitting there going, oh my God, is this all there is? Like, I was on a holiday in Vegas and I didn't want to come back on Monday. That was a big part of it. I was like, I don't want to work on Monday. You know, and how can I create a lifestyle that I can still create the full-time income and beyond, and be able to do all of the things that I love? And that's what this is about. This opportunity is about, you know, what does life look like now? What would you love to be doing if you could be doing anything? If time and money wasn't an obstacle for you, how would you be spending your days? Now that right there, a lot of people, so when I get people started, that's one of the questions that I ask them, and they're like, I don't know, because no one's ever had the opportunity or actually sat down and thought about it, because they've never seen it as something that could come to fruition, because they're like, how would that even be possible? So the first thing was, you know, knowing that you can create a life that you can do the things that you love to do, because and at the end of the day, if we're all out there doing the things that light us up, that make time stand still for us, it allows other people around us to go and do the same. Does that make sense? So I loved this whole concept of really just designing my life. Okay, so that was 2.5 years ago. When I saw this opportunity, it was like a lightning bolt in a thunderstorm. That's how I explain it all the time. And you know, when you're in a thunderstorm, everything's pitch black, and then there's a lightning bolt and you see everything like daylight. That was it. And then it goes dark, but you can't unsee it. It's like I couldn't unsee what this could be. So yeah, we got to work, and I linked arms with some people straight away that I knew were looking for more as well. They might not have known it, but I was like, yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. So, and, you know, I've got one of my very best friends. We both are NMDs now, and she went NMD, you know, probably not even 6 months behind me. And that's the best thing about this. You get to do it with your friends, and the friendships that you make over the time is just amazing, and that's what I love. So on the journey to NMD, so we went NMD in 15 months, and it was right before that I promoted that I also became a single parent in the month that I actually promoted to NMD. So I was with my partner for, it was 12 years. When we were married for, I don't know, is that bad? Can't remember, maybe 5, almost 5. I don't know. And so that kind of threw everything, like everything that I was doing this for kind of just got thrown around in a big heap, because a big part of this was that I wanted to retire my husband so that we could be doing this thing together, this thing called life, with kids and all that stuff. So that changed really quickly, obviously. And, you know, it was, so that was 18 months ago. And I mean, life's never been better, because it was just such a huge, obstacle. But the person that you become through those challenges, that makes it all worth it. And now we have an incredible relationship. And it's really funny because a couple of days ago, I signed up his girlfriend into my team. So I mean, it's funny how everything pans out, right? But at the time, it was a huge hurdle, like one of those face down moments where you're just like, oh my God, like, how do I go on from this? And everyone has those face down moments, and it might not be what I went through, but those big things that you're not ready for, that you're not prepared for, they are just everywhere in this business. And the more that you can embrace it and understand that these things can happen, and you've got a golden ticket that can help you through that, because I don't know where I would be if it wasn't for the opportunity. So I'm very, very grateful that I'm an independent mum. Nothing changed in my life. I can completely fund my life. And it's because of this opportunity that, that I said yes to it. And I said yes every day for the past 2.5 years, so that, so life's amazing now. And it's been an awesome roller coaster and journey. I'm just looking at the questions, Kim, at the moment, because I know we're short of time, so I can get into some stuff. So for new team members, good post ideas to get people talking and interacting with you. The new team. Yeah, cool. So and then I'm just going to see if I can tie some stuff in here. What's your best advice on creating a team? Okay, tribe, what is your typical? Okay, so tribe and posts on Facebook. Okay, cool. So the first thing is know who you are, okay? Know what you want to put out there to the world. And the sooner that you can really step into you and not what everyone else is like, what you think everyone else wants to see, because no one gives a shit. Like, everyone's just thinking about themselves anyway. So don't care about what other people think. Like, just be you. Because in a world where we are more connected than ever, we are more disconnected than ever. Does that make sense? We are more connected than we've ever been through social media, yet people feel more alone than ever. So how can you connect with people and make them understand and feel like they aren't alone? Okay, so part of my strategy on Facebook or social media is to be vulnerable and be real, and also know who I'm talking to. Like, if you try and please everybody, you are going to come across really wishy-washy, and no one's going to give a shit what you put up there because it's different every single day. You want people in your tribe to be talking to you, you to be talking to them, and them to be like, she's talking to me, or he's talking to me. And then they're going to get you, and you're going to be someone they follow. Like, be someone that you know those people that you go onto Facebook and you'll go just like search them and just to see what they did that day, you know, just because it's like, oh, I just want to see what they're up to. Have that, like, know those kinds of people that you want to have in your tribe. Okay, so be real, be vulnerable, share the heartache, share the bad stuff, but putting a positive spin on it all the time. Don't be a negative Nancy on social media. No one wants that, because people have enough of that shit in their life. Okay, and you might, okay, Juice Plus bubble, everyone's really positive, right? Yay. And we see it all. We see our feeds are full of like positive stuff. So you're like, oh my God, it's just the same as, you know, everyone else. No, it's not. Because if you think of everybody else outside the Juice Plus bubble, out in the real world, you know, the normal world, they don't see that stuff. They see negativity all the time. So be that person that lights up people's news feeds with positive stuff, funny stuff. I go by, if it doesn't educate people, if it doesn't inspire people, and if it doesn't entertain people, I don't post it. Okay? And that's not to say there's posts that I put up that some people, like, I think I'm hilarious. There's other people that are like, that's not funny at all. I don't care. There are some people that think it's hilarious, you know, so it's about doing what is, you know, what fits with you and your tribe. Okay. So yeah, I hope that helps around post ideas. Does it entertain? Does it educate? Does it inspire? Lara, can you go sit down, please? Yeah, go over there. Where's the iPad? She's playing the iPad at the moment. Sorry.
It's in my little bedroom.
Okay. Yeah, so inspire, educate, entertain. And yeah, if it doesn't fit into those, just don't post it. Think about why you're posting. Understand that your social media is a tool, and you don't have to post all about, you know, your cat and your dog and your friend, like, you know, your kids all the time. Maybe you'd have a private Facebook profile just for your family or something like that. I understand it's a tool. Is that helpful around social media? Yeah. Hang on 2 seconds, please. Lara, come on.
Thanks, Jess. I hope you guys love that. We do have another question from Naomi, which I think.
Sorry.
All good, babe. I'll get you to go on to Naomi's question. I'll read it out for you. I think that this is a really good question to share, and this is something I did want you to touch on. So with such a fast journey to NMD, now I want to make a point. It's only fast, guys, because you've compared it to other people. Everyone's journey is, you can't say it's fast or slow. It's exactly how it's meant to be. But Jess has done it quicker than a lot of other NMDs, which is incredible. So with such a fast journey to NMD, how did you successfully find that work-home Juice Plus balance, if it exists? And did you struggle getting a good schedule or DMO in place? And how did you deal with the overwhelm? So let's roll with that one.
Okay, first of all, balance, schmalance. Okay, anyone out there that's trying to find the balance, like, go get a job. Okay, because this is not about that. Like, you need to understand the term strategic imbalance. So understanding that this is we call this a 4-year career, 4 years of strategic imbalance, and it's going to get like, okay, 2 kids under 4 for half the time it's been on my own. Like, it's a shit show a lot of the time. Okay, that's just how it is. And it is understanding like there is no excuses. Okay, so going, right, well, what could stop me from going and creating that masterpiece life? What could stop me? And then thinking of all those things and using those as your reasons why and your fuel for why you need to. Okay, like if you're sitting there going, holy shit, I don't have time. I don't have time I don't have time. I've got to have family time. I've got to have family Sunday. Sunday's my family day, and this, that, and the other, and all that stuff. If you don't have time then you need to do this. You need to turn it around and realize that's your fuel. That's your fuel. Like sacrificing some things. Like when I get people started going, 90 days, give me 90 days of all in massive action to get momentum. And this isn't a week. It's not a month. It's not, I've got this function on. I've got this. I'm away for a couple of days for this. No. Like, do you want it or do you not? Like, it's your business. So it's not up to us to go like, what's more important? Like, where does it sit on the priority scale? Like I can tell you, you can sit there and go, oh, it's, a fast journey to NMD. But I can tell you, and you can look at all these other ways that people are building business and through social media and this, that, and the other, and people have definitely done it faster than I have. But, when you start to look at all these other things, like I remember for the first 12 months or longer, I was in the trenches. Like I was working. It was 3 events a week. It was a lot of events where it was me on my own. Even my team weren't showing up, and it was hitting the phones. It was messaging people. It was hearing no all day long because I had a vision. Like if you're not prepared to go through the shit, which is all the stuff that makes the industry. If everyone said yes, we wouldn't have an industry. If we didn't have to do events, everyone would do it because events are inconvenient. I still do events every single week. If it was easy, everyone would do it, right? But it's not. You guys are here. You guys are wanting to create that masterpiece life. So guess what? You got to do something different to everyone else. Do something different now to live a different life than everybody else, because there's a lot of people that will not do what it takes, so it's the numbers game. And I say this a lot, people aren't numbers, but you cannot forget that this is a numbers game, and you got to go through the numbers. You got to go through the no's. You got to go through the events where no one shows up for consistency purposes. And that's for you. Like people weren't showing up, but I was like, no, I'm committing, because what do the people that succeed in this business do? They're consistent and they run events, and meetings make money. So it was, I need to create a space that, and it's worth mentioning, it was that when you're getting started, you've got to think like an NMD. Think like you have an NMD team. How would you show up? Why aren't you doing that now? Would you be there? Would you be running events? Would you be at the front of the room with the marker? Because the person with the marker is making the most money. So when are you going to step up and start doing those events? And it's that kind of mentality day in and day out that gets you through, because it's always thinking, well, what would that person do? What would that person do? And you kind of really don't have any excuses from there. So no, there wasn't really much balance. Back to the question, there wasn't really much balance. It was strategic imbalance. It was like, we know the end of the month is very busy. So it's about going to everybody in your life, hey, I'm going MIA for a while. Like I've got shit to do and I'm helping people, and you get in the trenches and you are making like epic shit happen, and we know anything is possible. So that's definitely something with our team. We don't take the foot off the pedal. We are just like laser focused till basically reports update, because you never know. So it's how do we maximize what we get out of a month. And do I struggle getting a good schedule? Yeah, even now I do. I struggle to get a schedule. But one thing I will say, when the why is strong, the how-to is very easy. So I don't really have, I kind of tried having a DMO at the start, because I was like, well, everyone tells me that I need one. But I was so inspired. I didn't need one. I was out there doing it. I was talking to people. So if you think about your DMO, if you're someone who has lots of stuff going on, you need something to keep you on track, just to tick the boxes if that's you, then make sure that it's the high-paying activities. So anytime that any activity that I'm doing with my business, the 2 questions that I'm asking myself is this activity making me money? Is it a high-paying activity? The second is this duplicatable? Okay, if it's not duplicatable and if it's not a high-paying activity, don't do it. Like cleaning the house. No, I hate cleaning the house. So yeah, you've got to, when it comes to your business, think about those things. So high-paying activities, I'll quickly touch on. First thing is the most important thing, and we talk about eating that frog, because like that's not very nice to do. I've never done it, but I'm imagining it's not very nice to do. It's a book called Eat That Frog, and it's about doing the hardest thing first. Most people find that the hardest thing is reaching out to new prospects, yeah? So do that first. Spend an hour in the morning or however long you've got, and all you are doing, you've got your goggles on and you are just like, your blinkers on, and you are just doing that activity, reaching out to new prospects. How many people are watching an event link, you know? The second is follow-ups, okay? Fortunes in the follow-ups. So don't leave people behind because they're not quite ready, you know? The third is personal development. Make sure that you carve out some time for personal development. And also worth mentioning, not just in the Juice Plus bubble, okay? Work on you outside of Juice Plus, okay? Personal development is really important. As you grow, your business is going to grow. Fourth is, customer care. And then following up with team, like getting into your team and seeing how you can help there. Okay, so covering off those things, and if that's all you did, yep, there we go. So networking, follow-ups, personal development, customer care, team updates. That's all you did. But in there, you know, you can add to it. So you might have a DMO around your social media. And I do think social media, though, like, you know, you can have like different like apps that post and things like that, but Facebook doesn't really like that. It's just how Facebook works. They don't really like that. You're not going to show up on people's feeds as much. So if you can just have the Facebook in your, like, in the forefront and it be inspired. So, you know, you want it to be live and as life happens. So I'm someone who will walk around and I will just like take photos of random things, and then if I see a quote I like, I'm like, oh, that matches like that photo, and you know, like you just get better at doing that kind of stuff. So you might have a DMO around your social media, just making sure that you're posting, you know, more than 3 times a day, for example, and don't spam people. So I don't put Juice Plus on my Facebook either. Is that helpful around, and how do you deal with overwhelm? Well, overwhelm's a really good thing to have. If you've got it, it means that there's stuff going on, right? It means there is something and it's pushing you and you're like, right. So whenever, sorry, I've got 2 minutes. So whenever you're feeling like you're overwhelmed and there is something there that you know, like there's a challenge, the mantra I use is, when the walls appear, the work begins. Like that's when we dig deep and we've got to figure out. And usually when you're feeling all of that, it's right before a breakthrough. Okay, so keep going. And my number 1 mantra is never give up on a bad day. And that has served me very well for the last 2.5 years. So I think we've got to wrap it up soon, don't we, Kim?
Yeah, no, that's perfect. That was awesome. Is there any last little advice you would like to share, or anything that you wanted to share and didn't match the questions?
No, that's really just it, guys. Like if this is you and if you're new, understand that you've got the golden ticket. Okay, you've got the golden ticket. Figure out why you're here. So firstly, why are you here? Get clear on that. what do you want out of this? Have laser focus, like get so clear on what you want. How do you want your life to look? Okay. Map out a game plan and map it out, all the nuts and bolts of it with your sponsor. And then have those mantras that you carry through on your journey. Never quit on a bad day. That was one for me. Okay. When the walls appear, the work begins. Know that the journey is what makes this so amazing. Okay. And this is a vehicle that is so much more than fruit. When you understand this is not fruits and veggies in a capsule, like, who gets that? Anyone get that this is not about fruits and veggies in a capsule or a fruit and vegetable franchise? It's so much more than that. It's a vehicle for you to go and create an empire, to create a community of people that are all on a mission together. And it's a vehicle for you to create that masterpiece life that is going to really set you up for life, and then for you to be able to go and pay it forward and help other people. And it just comes in the shape of fruits and veggies in a capsule, a shake, or a kid's chewable version.
Love it. All right, well, I just want to chuck it on gallery view so we can all see. Yay! All right, thank you, Jess, so much for jumping on. I'll just stop.